All in all, man, it's sad. It's unfortunate. I hate injuries. I think I speak for everybody when I say this. I wish they were not a real thing. I mean, it's just crazy thing about it. Joe Burrow, during a random practice on a Thursday afternoon, one of the first practices back, suffers a freak injury and everybody's freaking out about it. Oh man, mama, there goes that man. Not the video I intended and planned on making today, but it is what it is. Y'all know what I like to say. Sometimes stuff like this happens. That's the way of life. And we all know this by now, especially if you played sports. Injuries, they're a part of the game, whether you like it or not. Are injuries fair? No. Do we hate them? Yes, but it's a reality of life. Life isn't fair, and injuries, it goes hand in hand with that concept. We could sit up here all day and talk about how good some players could have been. Cough, cough, Derrick Rose if injuries were never a thing. But we are not here to do that. What we are here to talk about is the breaking news and the terrible and sad news that Joe Burrow today in the 11-on-11 practices, he suffered an injury where he had to be carted off the field. And the worst part about this injury, and we'll get to this in just a second, is it was a non-contact injury. These are the worst of the worst because, trust me, I have plenty of experience with non-contact injuries because in sports, I've torn my ACL not once, but twice. I normally know how this stuff goes, and I'd say 9 out of 10 times, I can tell you within probably 4 to 5 seconds if a guy tore his ACL just by watching the game it happened in or the practice or whatever it is. In this case and scenario, though, thankfully, no, this has nothing to do with the ACL. It didn't look like that. My immediate reaction when I first saw the clip a couple of times was, okay, this is either a calf injury or the dreaded, and I don't even want to even really talk about this or get into it, an Achilles injury. That is one of the worst of the worst for athletes. Ask Kobe Bryant, ask Klay Thompson. You may come back from an Achilles injury, but you're never going to be the same player. It's not going to happen. I'll show you this right here. This was one of the first people, or it might have been the original person who broke the news. Caleb No on Twitter, he posted this. Breaking. Joe Burrow was just carted to the locker room after going down on a play during 11-on-11s. Video of the play and Joe leaving the field, and I'm going to show you the video clip right here. Matt, right a crap. Yeah, so there you have it. Non-contact injuries, they are scary, and just keep Joe Burrow in your thoughts and prayers. And in this video clip, he didn't get hit or anything. You can see he takes a snap and he just escapes the pocket, and to me, what it kind of looks like is if you've ever gotten a cramp in the middle of a play. That was my immediate reaction. I'm like, hey, it's super hot outside no matter where you're at in the United States. It's hot everywhere. I think he just cramped up because he may have been dehydrated or something like that. And here's some good news out of this. If you zoom in on this, and I'll show you a picture right here, he was grabbing his calf, which, by the way, if you're going to take any good out of this, that is the greatest sign ever because that's where you cramp up a lot. And then to go on top of this, this just came out as when I'm speaking, Zach Taylor, the head coach, he has told reporters that Joe Burrow suffered a calf strain. I'll just show you all this, which is much better than several alternatives like Achilles, anything else. Have to imagine this takes him off the field for the preseason to be determined on a time frame. I ain't gonna hold y'all. This is the greatest news because, I mean, whenever you hear somebody's getting carted off the field for a non-contact injury, you think the worst. You either think meniscus tear, ACL, Achilles, or hamstring. But the fact we're just talking about, and I don't want to say it's not a big deal because it is, but we're talking about a measly calf strain, this is good news. And then you got some people saying stuff like this. Are we sure it's just a calf strain? Dude, why would the head coach lie about that? And plus, I'll show you this picture yet again. He was grabbing his calf. It looks like he just cramped up a little bit. But check this out. According to a doctor, he has stated, looks like a calf strain. Problem is, these can linger. Let's read the rest of this. Given the start of camp, not optimal conditioning yet, in the heat and fatigue, these are the perfect recipe for these strains. Expect an MRI, hopefully not more serious like an Achilles tear. And that's exactly what I was talking about and saying. You got to remember, it's like 95 degrees everywhere. So yeah, heat's playing into all of this. I'm not going to look it up because I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section. But off of my knowledge and what I know on this subject and manner, I believe a calf strain, you should be back in about, 4 to 6 weeks? I could be wrong on that. Let me know. He should be A-okay. I wouldn't expect him to miss any serious time if this doesn't linger around. That's a big if. Because this could linger around maybe, and unfortunately, I don't want to think about this, but it's the reality of things. It could turn into something worse, which you don't want to happen, so you don't want to rush him back. So if a calf strain takes about 4 to 6 weeks, week 1, ironically enough, is in about, 5 to 6 weeks? And knowing Joe Burrow, the competitor, not just competitor, but the ultimate competitor that he is, he's going to go out there. He'll be out there for week 1. That's just my guess right now. If recovery goes smooth and he's not having any lingering side effects, even if he's at 80% week 1, he's going to be out there. Trust me. And also, I do want to speak on this now that I thought about it. This is a thing where, let's say they shut him down and they're like, okay, no football for you, Joe Burrow, for the next 6 weeks, and you got to come in week 1, not playing for 6 weeks, and you got to be ready to go. I hope they still let him practice and do some things because you don't want him getting too stiff and just sitting around doing nothing. Of course, I know they'll have him in rehab and they'll have him up and moving, but it's hard to replicate even practice speed just doing rehab. I'm going to do quick research, and like I said, all this is happening in live time. Let's see if we got any new updates. I'm going to Twitter, and of course, what do you know? Joe Burrow is trending, and also Achilles is trending. Those go hand in hand if you can't put it together. Everybody's biggest fear is that Joe Burrow tore his Achilles, which obviously didn't happen. The coach already came out and stated it. Look at all these tweets, and I'm not laughing at the situation. It's just everybody jumps to the worst conclusions. Need to wait and see if Joe Burrow just tore his Achilles. If his Achilles is torn, his season is over. Hopefully not. That would suck for him in the NFL. Dude, why do people always jump to the worst conclusion? Because me, when I first saw it, what did I tell you guys? Oh, yeah, I thought it was a cramp or something like that. I'm refreshing right here, see if we can find some more updates. Okay, got a new one right here. This was posted 45 seconds ago. Important to note, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor never stated that it's a quote-unquote calf strain for Joe Burrow. He simply mentioned it is a quote-unquote calf issue, which, unfortunately, leaves the door open to many possibilities. He didn't have many details as the injury just happened. Oh, yeah, I guess that is true because in the original statement, he said it was a calf injury, didn't say it was a calf strain. But like I said, we're going to divert back to this. He's grabbing his calf, the weather's hot. I'm labeling this as a calf strain. Or heck, man, I'd also wouldn't be shocked if it was just one of those mega hard cramps. I've had some cramps like that myself where you literally cannot walk for 3, 4, 5 minutes. So for all those people are going to say, well, Matt, why would he have to get carted off the field for a cramp? That's why. I'm sure as to when you're even seeing this video, we probably are getting some new updates, but for now, as to when I'm posting it, that's all we know. All in all, man, it's sad, it's unfortunate. I hate injuries. I think I speak for everybody when I say this. I wish they were not a real thing. I mean, it's just crazy thing about it. Joe Burrow, during a random practice on a Thursday afternoon, one of the first practices back, suffers a freak injury and everybody's freaking out about it. And also today, now that we're on the topic of things, didn't Jalen Ramsey suffer an injury that's supposed to be bad and he could be out for the year? Hold on. Let me pull this up too now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, here it is right here. Miami Dolphins star offseason acquisition Jalen Ramsey was carted off the field and taken to the locker room on a cart. Ramsey grabbed his left knee after defending Tyreek Hill on a pass play. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey more likely probably tore his ACL, let's be honest. But just like this tweet says right here, and we'll end off the video at this, worth noting for context, given Joe Burrow and Jalen Ramsey's injuries today, carts are sometimes used at team practice facilities for convenience or distance to evaluation areas. Carts don't always signal severity of injury, especially not the frequency it does during games. I thought that was a great tweet because I think a lot of people, when they hear, oh, somebody had to be carted off the field, they immediately think, oh yeah, season-ending injury. But that's not the case. Getting a cart on the field just gets them to the locker room quicker. That's all we know at this current moment in time, and what a crazy Thursday afternoon news. Jalen Ramsey and Joe Burrow, keep them in your prayers and thoughts. Hopefully for Jalen Ramsey, just tweaked his knee up a little bit, and hopefully for old Burrow here, he just probably got a calf strain. That's it. Those are the best case scenarios. Let me know your thoughts down below, but